Grace, congratulations, you have been selected to receive a Washington Apple Education Foundation Scholarship. Our scholarship committee was impressed with your hard work, dedication, and commitment to higher education as reflected in your scholarship application.
excited to see everyone here today for the Washington Apple Education Foundation Scholarship Celebration Luncheon. This is a celebration of students, it's a celebration of industry philanthropy, and it's a celebration of all the good that happens when we all come together. My name is Jennifer Witherby, and I'm the Foundation's Executive Director. Technically, I've been the Executive Director for over 20 years, but I had a 3-year break. So this is my first year back, and it makes this year even more special for me. I'm excited to get to be here this morning with WAEF Chairman and our co-MC, Tyler Price. Hey, Tyler.
Jennifer. Welcome, everybody, and thank you for being here today. I'm Tyler Price. As Jennifer mentioned, I'm the WAEF Board Chair and the CEO at Price Fruit. It's an honor to be up here today representing WAEF and to share the stage with Jennifer, who we're so glad is back. Today, we get the opportunity to come together as a tree fruit industry to pause and reflect on the collective impact we've had, to provide some updates on the foundation, and to honor our students, both past and present. But before we go too much further, I'd like to thank our sponsors for helping to support WAEF and making this event possible. First, I'd like to recognize AgWest Farm Credit for being our presenting sponsor, something they've done since 2009. You'll also see our supporting table and friends sponsor logos on the screen behind me and listed in your program as well. Funds raised today not only make this event possible, but help to support student programs and foundation operations. So thank you so much to our sponsors. We couldn't be more appreciative.
We are pleased to recognize our elected officials and their representatives here today. Please join me in welcoming Senator Nikki Torres, representing Washington's 5th Legislative District. Also, 14th District Representative Deb Manjarrez. District Representative Gloria Mendoza. Director Derek Sandison from the Washington State Department of Agriculture. Rick Evans, Central Washington Representative for U.S. Senator Maria Cantwell. Rudy Almeida, Regional Representative for Governor Bob Ferguson. Ignacio Marquez from the Washington State Department of Agriculture. We would also like to welcome the presidents of 2 of our key local education partners, Dr. Chris Gilmer, the new president of Heritage University, and Jason Lamaquiz, the president of Perry Tech. Thank you for joining us. The Washington Apple Education Foundation is the charity of the tree fruit industry. Thanks to all of you, we now award over $1 million in scholarships annually. 75% of our scholarship recipients are first-generation students. Having that opportunity to attend college is life-changing for them and for their families. Additionally, WAEF students participate in career and professional development events year-round with the goal of graduating career-ready. What's unique about these activities is that they happen throughout the students' undergraduate years, and they are all volunteer-led. The WAEF community makes all of this possible, and we want to recognize you and allow people to see who you are. So when we call on your group, if you could please stand. I'd like to begin with our current and former WAEF board members. If you could please stand if you are a current or former board member of WAEF. Thank you for all that you do.
Next, we'd like to recognize our volunteers. These are folks who help with care packages, student workshops, event volunteering, or serve on a committee. Will you please stand up and be recognized?
We would also like to recognize our donors and sponsors. If you contribute to WAEF financially through a scholarship, through sponsorship of this event, through participation in golf tournaments or raffle tickets or annual giving or monthly giving, please stand up. We appreciate you. Thank you.
Next, if you're one of our over 3,000 alumni, many of whom are still involved as donors or volunteers, will you please stand up and be recognized? There's got to be a few of you. There's one.
Last but certainly not least, each of our current scholarship recipients has been given a ticket to invite a guest here today. Many of the times that's somebody from their families. But if you are here as a guest of a student, if you can please stand. Thank you for all that you've done to encourage your students and for allowing WAEF to be part of, this next phase of your students' educational journey. WAEF students are raised in strong families and come to the foundation with drive and a passion to succeed. Through your support, we're able to provide the funding and encouragement for them to achieve their potential and return to the industry and their home communities to make a lasting impact.
While the organization continues to impact the lives of so many, WAEF as an organization recently has spent significant time exploring how it can continue to have that impact in the future as things around us continue to evolve. It's no secret to anyone in this room that the tree fruit industry has experienced its fair share of issues the last few years, and WAEF has certainly not been immune to that. Within that, the makeup of the industry looks much different than it did 30 years ago when WAEF was founded and will continue to evolve. Lastly, the future of education, the cost of education, and how it's funded continues to change and continues to increase. And to add to that, we've had just significant staff turnover at WAEF. So with all those things in mind, it's created the need to kind of hit the reset button a bit to determine how we can best serve all of our stakeholders in the future. Through work done by WAEF's Strategic Planning Committee and the board at large, we've confirmed and recommitted to our core values. We're impact-driven, stewardship and integrity, relevance, exceptional service, and collaboration and inclusion. Now, with those core values in mind, we've defined our focus, which is to connect all stakeholders in a shared vision of philanthropy, to support high-achieving individuals in our communities through scholarships and support, and to strengthen the tree fruit industry and its communities by investing in our future leaders. So with that, WAEF's promise to you, our stakeholders, is to ensure that every dollar is spent efficiently and transparently, to track our students' success and report it back to you, and to continue to have a long-term impact for all stakeholders. So from a tactical standpoint, what does that mean? We're revisiting all the ways in which we serve to make sure we're living up to that promise. We're increasing communication with our stakeholders. We're assessing and repositioning our staff for greatest impact. And we're reassessing the role of the board, asking for greater commitment and involvement and holding each other accountable. You might be asking, well, how can I help? How can I be a part of this? First off, please just be in contact with us. Share your thoughts, both good and bad. We welcome all of your feedback. Be an advocate for WAEF and its students, and step up when asked or seek ways to get involved, of which there are many. And lastly, please continue to give generously. There are several different ways to do so, whether it be through scholarships, event sponsorship, or monthly or annual giving, which we'll talk a little bit more about later.
Thank you, Tyler. Thanks to you and the board for your leadership. For our donors, funding a life-changing scholarship matters as much as it does to our students who are receiving these awards. Some of the most meaningful scholarships we have at WAEF are those that were created in memory of industry members. Roger Calhoun was the chairman of WAEF in 2007 and served on the board from 2003 to 2011. Roger created a scholarship while he was living, and when he passed away 4 years ago, his family elected to continue the award and were joined by others to honor his legacy. His wife, Barbara Calhoun, has recorded a message that we'll get to listen to. While we're listening to that, we'll ask Ken Ballard from Ag West and Brett Calhoun to please come to the stage and share their perspective on why this scholarship matters so much.
Education has always been very important for Calhoun. And it started when he was younger in Graham, Washington, where he grew up on. He was pretty poor. And his mother was a single at the time, raising 3 kids. And life was pretty tough for him, and I think when he got a little bit older in junior high, we went into FFA, and that's where he won a contest, an FFA contest, and the prize was a calf, and that started his idea of raising calves to help him go to school. And so he did that, and every year he kept raising them, and he had neighbors who would help him with raising the right calf. And so after that, he went to college, and he was doing pretty well, except it was always a little tough. He had to work all the time in the summer, and he did work at school part-time, but it was always tough for him to get his degree, but he did it. And he always felt that if he would have had a little bit of help in the way of a scholarship, it would have been a lot easier to get through school. And I think that's where the idea of WAEF really impressed him. It was helping kids get ahead to get their education.
Well, I think all of us who know Roger would recognize that smile. It was almost always there, and it was warm and inviting. I work for Ag West Farm Credit. Roger Calhoun hired me and brought me up in '98 to be part of the company. Excuse me. At that time, he had been working very diligently to help Ag West rebuild trust with the vital industries in the Northwest. The farm credit system had gone through some tough times, and coming out of that, Roger had a vision, and he became the head of a division that focused heavily on industries like the tree fruit. And he went around and he listened to what we needed to do to be able to add value and to rebuild and earn the trust of the industry. And today his legacy is showing in our presence in the marketplace, and we're very thankful for the work that he did. When Roger passed away, I received a phone call from a gentleman who's here in this audience and let me know, and it was pretty shortly after Roger's passing. I reached out to our executive team to let them know that we'd lost a friend. The message came back from our CEO, Ken, please reach out to the family, see what their favorite charity is, and we will make a meaningful donation. I was gratified and overjoyed when the family said their charity was WAEF, and they'd like us to donate towards Roger's scholarship, now a memorial scholarship. I can't tell you how proud we were for that opportunity to donate into that, to help create some sustainability and lastability, I've got a new word, within that, to memorialize Roger and celebrate what he'd done. It was meaningful for our company. It's been a joy to see that scholarship continue and continue to add value, not just for students, but for our industry. And I'd like to ask everybody here, as you look at the people in your lives and you look at transitions, is there an opportunity for your company or for you as individuals to create a similar kind of a memorial concept, one that you can, see the good work continue in memory of somebody that you care deeply about. Thank you very much. Brett?
Thanks, Ken. So in the back of the room, my stepmom Barb, which was what you heard her voice, and she's actually my mom, so we're not going to, cut through that. But raise her hand or your hand. But she actually had knee surgery, or replacement knee surgery, 2 weeks ago. So she is up and down right now, and it's really great that you made it here. And then my wife is Carissa, which raise your hand. You're putting up with me. And then the grandson, which I'll get to later. Tate, stand up. Tater, there you go. So anyway, so they're all here, really to support what my dad did. And exactly 4 years ago today, actually, he passed away. And my heart's heavy today. We go back and think about it, but I'm also blessed to stand up here and talk about what he contributed to all of the WAEF Foundation and whatnot. And he was very passionate. Man, he loved his career, heavy passion for his work ethic. He loved his family and was always engaged, and he loved education. And I remember, like, on the Sunday dinners, we'd all group up as a family, and he had just returned back from WSU, go Cougs, and he would sit down and talk about the kids, or the students that he would interact with, and which had the similar stories to his upbringing. And he would sit there, and he would always just try to figure out a way to help them. And what's actually ironic about this is I met two individuals here, and they're like, oh, I met your dad 21 years ago. I'm like, oh. And they're like, yeah, he hired me at Farm Credit. I'm like, oh, so you've been there 21 years. And it's truly magical to see how that progression all happened with him and bringing in the talent. Well, did we decide that yet, or no? I'm just kidding. Moving on. So what do you really want to do is help. Like, how do you help? And so enter WAEF, and he progressed through WAEF, the organization, and then once he got into through WAEF and then into retirement, basically having that scholarship fund, that was his way of contributing back, which I think is important for a lot of people in this room to recognize. As Ken talked about, after my dad's passing, the very generous gesture of Egg West to fulfill like his dream. It wasn't a question within our family where that funding was going to go, and it was once again, very generous. And I think we should all like give a hand to Egg West, basically, on that. So beyond the education, there's one thing my dad really was concerned about, and it was basically me. But we'll make that story. And he really wanted grandchildren. And my sister luckily had a granddaughter that was, she's like, how's she old now? She's 20 years old now. And so, but he wanted a grandson. And so, enter into a couple stories there about me not being single for a long time or whatnot. My wife and I reunited for knowing each other for years, and we pretty much, well, I asked her very nicely, I guess, if she was willing to have another child, because I have a stepson that's 25, and so currently right now, my little guy's 8. So, and anyway, so through this process, he just lit up when he saw him, and you saw in those pictures right there that was a super important thing to him. And I look back at all this, trying to define my dad and who he was. And this last Father's Day, my son made me this cute little piece of paper thing, and it had all these highlights of what he loved about me. Funny, I don't know, I'm not that funny, but anyway, loving, best dad ever, smarty pants, I'm good at this, good at that, or whatnot. But on there it said a beast. And I started thinking about that. I think he actually answered the question of the one thing my dad was, and he was a beast. Thank you.
Thank you again to the Calhoun family and Ken for sharing those words. Next, we're extremely proud to graduate 90 students in 2025. This is one of our biggest classes ever, and we're extremely excited to celebrate and recognize these individuals with a short film.
WAEF's donor support meant the world to me and my parents. It wasn't just a financial help, it was a sign that someone believed in my goal of becoming a dental hygienist. Now that I'm graduated, I'm excited to get back to my community and help break language barriers in dental care. Thank you, WAEF.
Now that I graduated, I can go on and learn new skills and get real life experience from my career. And WAEF already supported me financially and morally, so all I have to say is thank you.
Hello WAEF, thank you so much for your support throughout my college career. Your support helped me to be courageous, to walk into a college classroom confident that higher education is for me too. I'm most excited now that I've graduated to find a job in the data field where there are such few women from my background. Thank you again, and we did it! Thumbs up!
WAEF donor support meant that someone believed in me. It was more than just financial aid, but rather people in the industry who saw potential in me. Being a first-generation student navigating the complexities of college can be overwhelming. WAEF provided resources and a sense of community that helped me feel supported. Thanks to WAEF, I was able to have a full college experience engaging in my academics and making lifelong friends. Thank you to all our donors for helping us through our education. We are beyond thankful.
Hi, I'm Jasmine, and WAEF's presence played an important role in my success at WSU. I'm eager to contribute to the design of outdoor spaces that promote culture, biodiversity, and community. Go Cougs!
I really appreciate WAEF donor support because they allowed me to not worry about my financials as much and took some of that stress away, but they also provided some workshops that we could attend that helped me in school, but also allowed me to gain some knowledge outside of school in workforce as well as kind of daily life things with financials. One thing that I really look forward to after graduating is being able to apply the skills that I learned in school in my new job.
I'm immensely thankful for WAEF and their support, which allowed me to pursue opportunities I never imagined I could at UW, especially as a first-generation student, such as studying abroad in Spain and interning with camp. So thank you, WAEF.
As a first-generation college student, WAEF donor support meant opportunity. It allowed me to pursue higher education without having to worry financially. And now that I've graduated, I'm excited to start my career and give back to the community who shaped me who I am today. Thank you, WAEF donors.
Because of WAEF, I was able to pursue my degree in architecture without financial stress. I am now excited to give back to my community and start my professional journey. Thank you.
Hi, my name is McKenna Rowe, and I'm a 2025 WAEF graduate. I was beyond blessed to receive WAEF donor support throughout my entire bachelor's program. WAEF support provided me with a path for my future, and I am beyond excited for what my life has in store. Thank you, WAEF.
To speak on behalf of this year's graduates, please welcome Jennifer Mandujano.
My name is Jennifer Mandujano. I am from Acámbaro, Guanajuato, and that's where my parents come from too. I came here to the US when I was 12 years old. That was around like 2014. I came here when it was towards the end of 6th grade. It was like a big challenge for both my family and I, especially not knowing the language and starting school when everyone already knew what they were doing. Well, right now it just feels surreal that I just graduated from the University of Washington from nursing school, which I never thought that would have been like a possibility before. I remember when I started school, I was placed in this class, and I remember they gave me this quiz, and I remember looking at the paper and staring at it because like I could not understand like any of the words that were on that paper. I remember like watching all the other kids like writing their answers to the quiz, and I was just like, I feel like that was a moment where I kind of like questioned everything. I kind of like questioned my parents, like, why did you bring me here? I couldn't see myself succeeding here. And I remember one night I went back home and I saw in the living room and I saw in the living room and I started crying, and I told my mom, I was like, why did you bring me here? Like, I don't think I can do this. And I remember when she said, it's gonna be hard. Like, I know it's gonna be hard, but you're a smart girl, you're capable of it, and I know you can do it. You just have to push through. And I feel like that kind of summarizes the emotional support that I've had from my parents. I feel like with time, I was able to understand, like, this is why my parents brought me here. And like my mom was right, like, it was gonna be really hard, but at the end, it seems like it's all worth it. If you were gonna go to college, you're gonna need to do this and that. It was kind of like me leaning on so many like amazing teachers and like advisors at high school. I'm so thankful that I crossed paths with them, and like that they were just like so supportive and like being like, hey, like, these are the resources that you're gonna need. And it was so helpful for me because like at home I didn't get that advice, you know. Like, my dad did not go to school at all in Mexico. He did not have the opportunity to go to school. And my mom just went to middle school, but she didn't finish middle school either. So it was like at home I didn't have that like advice. I didn't even know there were these opportunities to get like financial help, and like me not having to worry about like, hey, like, well, my parents don't have this money to like send me to college or this like amazing nursing program. Because it wasn't just like me going to school, it was like WAEF supporting me, other teachers like helping me learn a new language, my parents working in agriculture. It was just like a whole team that kind of like built this base for me to be able to be here today. It's so amazing to look back. It's so hard not to cry whenever thinking back at it. Like, I never thought that they were gonna like do so much apart from the financial help, you know. Like, because of the big impact that WAEF has had on me, I think if I ever have like the opportunity in the future to give back to like WAEF in a way of like supporting other students like me, I feel like that would heal so much in myself too. Like, just like knowing that I'm giving back, making other students' dreams come true. I feel like all these years I've actually been trying to become like my parents. Like, I've tried to become like as hardworking as they are, and just like pushing through, because like that's what I saw at home since the first day that we came here.
Good afternoon, everyone. I hope you're enjoying this celebration. As I stand here today and speak to you all, my heart is pounding. But this time is not about my night shift nursing clinicals. My heart is pounding so hard because I'm truly full of gratitude for being this year's graduate speaker, and so excited to see so many students one step closer to reaching their goals. Before I share about myself, I want you to take a look around. all these people, this community, is what encouraged me to keep pushing through every single day. Thank you to every person here, whether you're a WAEF staff, WAEF student, WAEF volunteer, WAEF donor, or a parent. Your presence has made today possible, and I am just a small product of all your faith and trust in this generation. My name is Jennifer Mandujano. I'm a first-generation college student to a Hispanic family, coming from Acámbaro, Guanajuato. I graduated from the University of Washington School of Nursing this past spring with a Bachelor's of Science in Nursing. I recently passed my NCLEX, and I'm now that part of that small percentage of Latino nurses. Why nursing? Well, you see, I came here years ago with no English background. Little did I know such a big dream would come true. I went to my dream school and finished my dream career. All the obstacles I have faced throughout the years add a little reason to why I chose nursing. I chose nursing to advocate for my patients and become their safe space during some of their toughest times in life. I chose to be the person at the bedside when no family is around. I chose to be the friend, the family, the advocate, the supporter of every single one of my future patients. I love nursing. I love the anatomy, the physiology, the skills, but more than anything, I love advocating for what once were my family and I, facing language and social barriers in healthcare. I remember when my family and I would seek healthcare, communication was so difficult due to language barriers, and bonds were really hard to make. I'm beyond grateful that I can break that barrier with my patients today. As a child, I would get hospitalized frequently due to my asthma crisis. That's interestingly where this big dream stemmed from. I remember the people caring for me, not by their names or appearance, but more by how they cared for me, how they stood up for me, how they advocated for me, and how they built a strong bond with my family and I. The hospital was like my second home. You know, hospitals are scary. Hospitals are not fun if you're not into blood and needles. But for some reason, all my memories are about people who cared for me, who bonded with my family and I, and who cured more than an illness. So of course, I would want to become just like one of those people. But little did I know how many setbacks I might encounter. In 2020, I got accepted into my dream school. Go Dogs! But not everything went smoothly, as I thought it would. In 2022, I got rejected from my nursing program. At the time, it felt as if everything was collapsing in my life. All I could think of was, how could I have let down so many people? Why? Why me? After all of my parents' hard work, after all the endless nights, after those long days in mobile classrooms trying to learn English from scratch, after everything, why? Why me? And you might be wondering how I got here. Well, I did what might sound like a very simple thing to do, but for those of us who have gone through it, I'm sure you understand how long the nights felt and how loud the questioning was. I got up and tried again. I soon came to realize the answer to my question, why me? Well, I am just a product of hard-working Hispanic parents, those who cross borders, those who leave their home country, those who leave their family behind, those who fall and get back up. Why? For their children, for their family. So I did the same. I had so many questions, but you know what I came to realize? I was the only one questioning my capabilities, because as I stand here today, I remember how WAEF, my community, and my family gave me their hand and support to get back up and try again and again. I could make a long list of why I think you should never give up and why I think you should keep pushing through. But that would just take me a long time, although we can grab some coffee sometime. Anyways, if you take only one thing from my speech, is this: you are enough. You are capable. God has put you here, and you have a purpose. And you know what? If you face a challenge, embrace it. You know why you're facing challenges? Because we were raised to face challenges. Keep your head up and remember that your community is beyond proud of you. Work harder. Get back up again and again, just like our hardworking community does. Why you? Because every single person in this room believes you can achieve those small and huge things in life. Why you? Because your parents have taught you how to break barriers and get up regardless of how hard it gets. Wishing you all nothing but the very best. Mamá, papá, gracias por los sacrificios que han hecho a lo largo de sus vidas para poder verme aquí hoy, frente a ustedes, cumpliendo uno de mis más grandes sueños. Gracias por acercarme a Dios y enseñarme que sus tiempos siempre son perfectos. Los amo y espero que estén muy orgullosos no solo de mí, sino de ustedes mismos también, porque este logro también es suyo. A todos los padres hispanos que trabajan en la agricultura, que dejaron su tierra, su hogar y muchas veces su propia familia con la esperanza de darle un mejor futuro a sus hijos, este logro también es suyo. Cada sacrificio silencioso no ha sido en vano. Su esfuerzo ha dado fruto. Sus hijos hoy cruzan metas que ustedes solo pudieron soñar. Este momento les pertenece tanto como a nosotros. To all the parents here who might be worried about their children leaving home to pursue college, please know that your love and values go with them, no matter how far they travel. I know it's hard to see them go, to imagine them facing challenges without you nearby, but sometimes distance is where they find their strength. Let them explore, let them dream big, and trust that the lessons you've taught them will carry them through. One day, they'll reach their finish line, just like I did, and I promise they will carry your sacrifices and your love in every step of their journey. Thank you, WAEF, for believing in your students, for believing in me, for believing in the strengths of our community. It has been beyond a blessing to have crossed paths with people in this room. Thank you for making my dreams come true, and thank you for making my family's dreams come true. Congratulations, Class of 2025.
Amazing job, Jennifer. Thank you so much for sharing. We're considering adding a disclaimer to future luncheon invitations that says tissues may be required. It is now time to meet our 2025 scholarship recipients. So students, we're going to ask you to now all stand. All of our current scholarship recipients, please stand. And you will go to stage right. And you'll find Jamie over here. She is on her way up here to the stage right. Jamie or Brenda will be right over here at the stage right to help students line up. While students are gathered, this is the right, isn't it? Did I get it right this time?
Yeah, sure, yeah.
Over this direction. It's been confusing to me in all of the luncheons. So students, please gather over here. While they are doing that, we are going to ask Emily and Brenda to please come to the stage.
I'd like to introduce Emily Batista Hurt as she makes her way to the stage. Emily is the newly elected chair of our Scholarship Selection Committee, which is responsible for selecting recipients for each scholarship award based on specific donor criteria. She also heads up our Student Success Committee, which ensures our Beyond the Scholarship offerings and programs are best supporting their students while they're at school. Thank you, Emily.
And thank you, Emily. Someone who needs no introduction to our current students or our Scholarship Selection Committee members is Brenda Avina. Brenda is the engine behind our student communications and the coordinator of the selection process. She's driven by her own experience as a WAEF graduate and has a passion for ensuring each of our current WAEF scholarship recipients are individually recognized and supported in ways needed for them to succeed. Thank you, Brenda. We have a couple of audience notes as our students continue to gather. We have asked a few of our seniors to share some words as they cross the stage. So if you see a student grabbing the mic, that has been planned. We also want to ask you to please hold your applause until all students have crossed the stage, and then we'll have an opportunity to give a big cheer to all of the scholarship recipients. So it looks like we've got our first students in line.
Abril Guevara.
Aiden Mata.
Alejandra Martinez.
Alexa Garcia.
Alexis Saucedo.
Allison Denny.
America Mesa.
Anaí Serrano Mojica.
Anelsi Lopez.
Angel Antonio.
Angel Casillas Bernal.
I guess first, thank you, my mom. I don't know if I'd be this far without her. And second, I guess for the upcoming students, will be like, imposter syndrome is real, but just know you belong. You know, you guys did so much. Be proud of yourself.
Angelica Leon.
Ariana Ocampo Garcia.
Ariel Mendez. Audrey Keller.
Eileen Llamas.
Bella Arroyo.
Brianna Guerrero.
Brisaria Lopez.
Brooke Miles.
Caden Sund.
Caleb Palma.
Cameron Young.
Camila Gonzalez Mendez.
Carol Govea.
Hi, I'm graduating this coming year thanks to you guys, WAEF donors, and thank you Ag West for the handwritten notes. They helped me out. Thank you.
Carola Garcia Mendez.
Hello everyone, my name is Carola Garcia Mendez. First I would like to thank God for this opportunity. I would also like to thank my mom, who is in the audience today. And I would like to thank WAEF, all the donors, the staff, the volunteers who believe in us and who have supported us throughout our journey and who have given us this opportunity as first-generation students to create new paths for those in our community. Thank you.
Carter Graham.
Cassandra Rosario Brambila.
Celeste Vergara Borges.
My name is Celeste, and I'm a first-generation Latina from the University of Washington, and I would like to thank WAEF for everything they've done for me up to this point, as well as all the other scholarships I've received. I, like many others here, am so grateful for this opportunity. Thank you.
Cesar China Olarte.
Charlie Alvarez.
Chelsea Ruiz.
Kiara Ocampo Garcia.
Citlali Sanchez Cervantes.
Delay Ledesma.
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Delilah Desma. I just wanted to thank WAEF. As a first-generation student, this is the best support system and motivation I could have asked for in pursuing my career. And just everyone in here, thank you for believing in us. Le quiero dar gracias a mi mamá también. Gracias por ella y su esfuerzo, su sacrificio. Yo pude seguir mis sueños y continuar con la escuela, así que muchas gracias, Mom.
Dayana Abundis.
Dayanara Abundis.
Devin Seaman.
Diana Govea Jimenez.
Diane Ramirez Godinez.
Dylan Height.
Edgar Moreno.
Eduardo Castaneda.
Edwin Cabrera Velázquez.
Elizabeth Lopez.
Emiliano Zúñiga.
Emily Lozano.
Emma Haringa.
Estefany Aguilar Cardenas.
Fermín, sorry.
Yo nada más quería agradecerle a mis padres por, como dijo la persona que estaba aquí antes, por cruzar la frontera, por darnos todo lo que nunca imaginamos haber podido tener solos.
Gabriela Rios.
Gavin George.
Geraldine Tavera.
Griselda Álvarez Cuevas.
Guadalupe Hernandez Gomez.
Ania Manra.
Ingrid Barajas.
Hola, quiero darle gracias a mi mamá por todo su apoyo y todo su amor. Este logro también es tuyo. I also want to thank WAEF for all the support through all my college journey. I will be continuing my education in the fall for my master's. Thank you.
Isaiah Garibaldo.
Itzuri Mendez.
Jacqueline Ceja Flores.
Jaden Godet.
Yair González Montelongo.
Jaretzi Gonzalez Murillo.
Jennifer Hernández Luna.
Jennifer Martinez.
Jennifer Meneses.
Jeremy Flores.
Jesselyn Alcázar Castañeda.
Jesus Lopez.
Jocelyn Cancino Corona.
Jocelyn Orozco,
Joel Enriquez,
Jonathan Mitchum,
I'd like to thank the Poem Club and all the WAEF sponsors. I'd like to thank the WAEF staff for all of your support and my family for all of their support through the good and the bad.
Jonathan Orozco,
Jorge Gayton Garcia,
Jorge Guzman,
Jose Policarpio,
Josue Lopez,
Judith Robledo,
Kai Hanrahan,
Kevin Barron,
Thank you, WAEF. Thank you, friends, family, everyone for always supporting. That's all I gotta say.
Kyle Christensen,
Leandro Mendoza,
Lehman Hires,
I can imagine my peers and I aren't always the easiest to deal with, so I want to make sure Fabiola, Brenda, and Xochi got a huge thank you.
Leo Lemus,
Levi Kukas,
Lily Spielman,
Lucas Saint Hilaire,
Luis Uribe Reyes,
Macy Ladd,
Morelli Aravello,
Maria Lara Urueta,
Maria Rules.
She was before me.
Oh.
Mario Mejia,
Mauricio Hernandez,
Michelle Acevedo Aro,
Melena Uras Sandoval,
Mireya Gutierrez,
Natalie Garibay Castaneda,
I want to thank everybody here for your unconditional support. I know it means the world to me and to everybody as a scholarship recipient. Without you all, we wouldn't be here. And of course, I want to give a special shout out to my mom. She's been attending these events since she had night shift and would go before I had to go to school to these events. So it really means the world. Thank you.
Noemi Aguilar,
Odin Vinson, Paola Abundis,
Peyton Snyder,
Reina Flores Perez,
Rosa Bautista,
Hello, I'd like to say how much I appreciate the WAEF staff and how thankful I am to the donors. And lastly, my dad, thank you.
Roxana Hernandez,
Ruben Lozano,
Ruben Martinez,
Samuel Adams,
Samuel Sedano,
Sienna Alvarez Temple,
Simon Cervantes,
Sophie Hill, Thomas Luke Terrell,
Valeria Eugenio,
Valeria Rodriguez,
Jimena Martinez,
Ciclali Mendoza,
Hi everyone. I'd like to thank WAEF for their unwavering support and resilience. I thank God for this opportunity, and I thank my mom, my dad who is not here today, but thank you guys. Thank you mami and papi por todos los sacrificios. Te quiero mucho y estamos un paso más cerca al éxito.
Shola Solano.
Jocelyn Chavez. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Awesome. Congratulations to all of you. Wish you the best of luck this school year.
Do we get to do the cheer?
Let's do one more cheer. Yeah, why not?
Before we leave today, I want to make sure to give a big thank you to Jamie Bruner for all of her work on today's event. Jamie loves her interactions with donors and students alike. She is the instrumental force behind today's events, coordinating sponsorships, communications, flow of people and informations, and even stretching her formerly known capabilities by building the stage behind us. So please help me in thanking Jamie Bruner.
We also want to remind everyone here that none of this is possible without your support. And we will continue to need your support to grow and sustain the foundation's impact going forward. As previously mentioned, the cost to operate the foundation has increased, and we need your support of everybody in the industry. While the industry's company make up a lot of that support, we need the support of individuals as well. So if you're feeling giving today, you can scan that QR code behind me, which will take you to WAEF's donation page, where you can sign up for monthly, annual, or one-time giving. And please keep in mind that even small amounts matter. A few cups of coffee here and there, a few adult beverages, whatever you can contribute, could make a meaningful difference in the lives of one of our students. You'll also notice green envelopes on your table. You can make donations that way as well, or you can find WAEF's contact information in the programs on the table to find out different ways you can get involved.
We hope you all leave today filled with inspiration about the good things that happen when we all come together. My thanks to WAEF's chairman and co-MC today, Tyler Price.
And thank you, Jennifer, and thank you to Jamie and Brenda for all your efforts in putting this event together. And thank all of you for attending. Please have a wonderful afternoon.
Bye.